Hey everyone, and welcome to this video. We're going to be showcasing Tempest, Tower of Probatio. Tempest, Tower of Probatio has sponsored this video, and I'd like to say thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to showcase the game for the community. With that being said, let's get started. Now, right off the top, if you're a Marvel Snap player, which you probably are if you're watching my channel, I think you're going to find yourself right at home. Tempest has a lot of inspired mechanics that have for instance, the 3-lane kind of system where you have to win 2 locations to win the game. It's a very quick gameplay that requires 3 to 4 minutes of play, and you have a limited deck that isn't like the 40 card deck, so you're going to see a lot of similarities that'll give you some immediate familiarity with the kind of the gameplay of Tempest. One thing worth noting is that the game does install a third-party anti-cheat software known as GameGuard Anti-Cheat. It's the same one that Helldivers does use in their client as well. It's just something worth noting that I wanted to bring to your attention as you consider checking out the game in the future. Now, just before this video went live, the development team at Tempest Tower of Probatio did some updates to the UI to make it more user-friendly and interactive for the player. Let's actually go through some of the changes that you'll see here. The first is you actually get a little reward that you can access every single day. This is a Topaz-based reward. You also can go to the shop here, very straightforward, collect your free Topazes here, which is great. Currency that you need to get things moving in the game. You also have this here, which you can click on, and you can play battles to obtain key fragments, which then can be used to unlock rewards on a set timer and schedule. What's notable here as well, you do have your check-in rewards. You can check in. I got myself my ticket here for the second day. As I said, you get the trial deck ticket here at the top. It's also worth noting here that as you complete missions, you do get additional rewards. But most importantly, what I think is going to interest people here is you can actually go to the leaderboard, and at the leaderboard, you can actually go through all the different types of decks, right? So destroy decks, dark magic decks, passive decks, active decks, or all the decks. Go to the number one top ranked player and say, okay, I want to try this deck. You can actually click try, yes, right? You click yes here, and what you got here is you got the actual deck from the player. And even if I don't have these cards, I can actually take them into a game, test it out, and play with cards that, I might want to consider acquiring in the future. You get a set trial number of games here, so in this case, we got 10 trials. We have 6 days to actually use it here. Pretty damn cool feature. I do like it a lot. But at the end of the day, they've made a lot of significant changes here to make the UI more playful and more easy to use, which I certainly do appreciate. The game gives you 3 decks to start: Destroy, Discard, and Dark Magic, which is similar to their Disruption style kind of deck. What you're able to do is you're able to put Dark Magic cards into the opponent's deck, and whenever they draw them, a -1 debuff is applied to a card on the side of their board. Pretty cool. But for me, I wanted to do a no ability deck. I crafted a no ability deck that takes advantage of cards that have, well, no ability, just pure stack cards. The vanilla cards, the Patriot cards. And so I'm going to take advantage of that with Diomedes that gives +3 to every card with no text. That's pretty cool. I also have a card that's similar to an Orca, which when it's by itself will get double the power. So I figure get some, non-ability cards into 2 locations, pound this down on turn 6 on the 3rd location. I should be in a pretty good spot to win. That's my strategy. That's my plan. That's what I'm going with. But the interesting thing here about Tempest Tower of Probatio is that the development team designed it in a manner that they wanted it to basically be the kind of game that you could pick up and that you could play in between sessions of the game you might be maining. You might be someone who plays Marvel Snap, and then once you get to Infinite in Marvel Snap, you're like, you know what do we do now? I kind of accomplished my goal for the season. Why don't I try something a little different? And sure enough, you can check this game out, and it'll save your progress between seasons, so you can always just dive right in and continue from where you left off. As you'll see, we have 3 locations there, and now I'm picking a card to exclude from my opponent's deck here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just discard their Kraken, which destroys cards on either side. I want that card gone. I don't want them destroying my cards, so I banned it. Okay, now here we got an interesting phase here. We get to pick a unique hero. We have Ares, which adds the power of the highest powered card in your hand to this card's power, which is pretty good. A Yeti, next turn, decreases the opponent's mana by 2, and they draw an additional card. And Tiger Man, at the end of each turn, increases the power of one of the opponents by 1. I'm going to go with the Prince of Gods here. We're going to select the hero. We could have done a refresh with paid currency. And so there, I'm waiting for them to select a hero, I take it. Okay, got some PvP going here. And we actually don't draw a turn 1 card, which is a little unfortunate for us. We do have 3 towers. We have the Tower of Perseverance, the Tower of Authority, and the Tower of Wisdom. pretty early in my experience with the game. Wow, I just got dismantled. I didn't draw any of my earlier cards. But, you know, if you're more of a Snap player, you'll be kind of accustomed to the locations having effects. From my understanding thus far, these locations do not have effects, although in, future cards might have, the ability to interact with locations in a unique way. We just haven't unlocked those yet. But, Tire here is going to gain +1 power at the end of every turn if I'm not winning that location. So that might be the one we have to maybe throw Uriel into. We do have Archangel once again. This is a card that is vanilla statted. I could sneak out Uriel early, but instead we got that Mad Clown, which gives the +1. It's kind of like a Psylocke. What we'll do is we'll play this here. We're probably gonna have to give the right location here. Uriel might go mid, and then we'll try and win this location as best we can. So yeah, they're heavily committing there. And I don't know. I think we'll be fine here. And there's a 20% chance to gain extra mana at the end of the turn. I don't even have that card yet. Now, here's a very interesting mechanic here. Very similar to the snapping from Snap. This here gives you a tap ability, which basically makes you increase the stakes. If I want to stay in the game, like they've already tapped, so that means, hey, if I want to stay in the game, I got to, put my money in. It's kind of similar to like, I'm not a poker expert by any means, but it's kind of like the binds of poker, right? If you want to stay in the game, you got to contribute. You got to put your money where your mouth is, so to speak. On turn 5, what I'm going to do is I'm going to Mad Clown into Athena here. We're going to fill this location, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go Uriel mid. So they actually Mad Clown as well, so they're going to have some extra energy, and it's possible that they get some more from their overflowing riches here. There's our energy at the bottom here. Let's see what happens. Their tire is getting massive, right? So we're probably going to have a hard time there. Now, here's a very interesting thing. We do have King Kong, which is a vanilla statted card. We have Uriel, which doubles in power. Now, unfortunately for us, we do still have the Prince of Gods, but we have not drawn our linchpin card, which would give us the ability to give bonus power to any card that has no text. So we'll play these out here and hope for the best. It's going to be really hard for them to win left, but mid with Uriel might be somewhat problematic for them. It is going to be 12 power, so let's see what they play. They play 14 power. They were able to actually get out some early power there, which is super bad for me. Uh-oh. Tap or not to tap? Now, here's the problem. So they've tapped, which means that my opponent's saying, hey, I think I'm going to win. And I think they will as well. Now, I have one more card to draw. Will it be the card that buffs everything? But still, like, I won't beat with Uriel. Unfortunately, here, I quit. Yeah, I have to quit. So this is a retreat here. I give them the win. But I think that's the smart thing to do ultimately because, we escape there because, we lose a little bit of rank. But ultimately, it could have been way worse. All right, and for our second game here, we're going to try and go for that win. We had to retreat on that last one, but this time, we're going for the dub. We're looking for our card to exclude from our opponent here. Interesting deck. I'm going to take out their top end. I'm going to take out their Oni here. And they're taking out my Diomedes. Oh no, so this is the problem, right? This is the thing. They just banned the linchpin card from my deck. My entire deck is based off of that one card. So I'm going to get punished here. So now hopefully we can get saved here. We got Aphrodite. So draws a card with the cost 7 from your deck. Okay. Changes the power of your lowest powered card in this zone to match the power of this card. That's pretty good. Decreases the cost of first card. Okay, you know what? We're going to go with Moonlight here. Go with Moonlight. It's a pretty good card. Okay, so this is exactly why the ban system is what it is, right? They were able to effectively ban a card that completely dismantled me. And Elf gets hit here, and unfortunately we're not ahead. They were able to match the location here, so we're not going to get much of an advantage. Now, we do get the advantage here. They Mad Clown, so they are going to be ramping here on turn 2. But we are going to get a little power out of the tire here. Okay, we have Athena. Now, here's the question. Do we start to kind of push out onto one single location? This one here is pretty good because it's going to give Tyre some additional power. We are going to want to get out that Orc Chief eventually. Okay, we got a discard happening. Hansel and Gretel getting discarded, and they do their own Tyre, but they're going to be a little behind there, so they're going to have a hard time catching up. We have Archangel. We have Werewolf. One power for every card in your opponent's hand, but the problem is they're discarding cards. We probably Archangel here. Now the next turn is a little more difficult. So there's their Athena, which does the +1s. There's their Hansel and Gretel, which would have been discarded, returned to the hands of a cost of 1, and one of the other cards you've played increases by 2. So they're tapping. We'll tap as well. Okay. We're not going to play Moonlight yet because we have not played another card. Now, I feel like they're a little weak mid. That's 2 cards there at 4 power. We can probably Orc Chief into the Werewolf, which is a little unfair. I don't think Werewolf's going to be particularly strong, but the Moonlight is going to buff up this Werewolf, or buff up this Orc Chief, right? So that's kind of what we're going for here. Now, we're still ahead. We're still ahead by 1, so they've filled that location, and now we're propping up Tyre one at a time, and we have Uriel here. Uriel might take them by surprise left. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to Orc, Worker, and I'm going to Moonlight. This should take the Orc Chief to 7, I believe. So this is a pretty strong play for us here and should get us the dub. Prince of Gods? That's a lot of power. Adds the power of the highest powered card in your hand to this card's power. Okay, so we're going to tap here. They're going. They're going here. Now, we do have Uriel, which is going to be a 12 power card, but we just straight up have Oni that can go left. Now, I don't know if they've unlocked a card that might be able to kind of flip the Tower of Wisdom. But let's see what they play here. 14 power is a lot. It's Captain Kidd, so they're throwing a card into their deck of Pirate Shift to buff Captain Kidd, and it looks like we're going to get ourselves a dub here. This is going to be a clean dub. We take that win. Very nice. You love to see it. And we're going to gain a little bit of rank there. We got a lot of rank from that because we both tapped at the end of the turn there. It's an equivalent of like an 8-cube game. Pretty damn good. You love to see it. Before we dive into another game here, it's worth noting that there is a season pass, both a free season pass and a premium season pass to unlock additional currencies and rewards. You also have quests that you complete while you're playing the game for additional rewards. And most importantly, you have the check-in event, which basically means that you can get rewards each time you log into the game, and you can use the link in the description down below to get started. But most importantly, you get a deck trial ticket, which I have claimed. And with this deck trial ticket, you essentially can play a deck, and even if you don't have all the cards, you can still experiment with it, which is pretty damn cool. I think that's a really neat idea. Let's dive into another game here. What we'll do here is we'll actually do the Dark Magic. This is the one that's provided by the development team themselves. Let's take it for a run. We're coming into our next game here. We're playing our Dark Magic deck, and it's worth noting here that something I hadn't mentioned is that in this pick and ban phase, you can see their whole deck. And so, like, if there's any tech in it, you kind of just deal with it. Like, both of us banned Diomedes, right? His deck is going to be really, like, problematic trying to pilot it without it. So it's kind of funny that you can see in advance what their tech cards just might be. I actually liked Gilgamesh last time. It increases by 1 at the end of every turn. Seems pretty good. I like it. You know, I'm going to go with Gilgamesh. All right. One of the Eternals. And we are getting, of course, increases the cost by 1 of the lowest cost card in my hand. Absolutely disgusted. Literally, my hero card gets dismantled. We're off to an absolutely terrible start. But you'd expect nothing less. All right, we do get this here. Now, this here we'll get a +3 if we fill the location. They're going hard into it with the Mad Clown and probably a 1-drop here. It would have to be a 1-drop. And an Orc Chief. So they're at, yeah, so they're all in on the nobility deck archetype there, which is what we played prior. We do have Belial, which is pretty good here, and we do have Epic. I don't actually think we play Epic, because I think being a turn behind kind of sucks here. Like, I don't think I actually want him now. I think we play Merjana. That also allows us to draw a card still. They actually stacked the location, Orc Worker and Athena, so this is going to be a particularly strong location, but I banned their card. So they're not going to be able to buff these no-cost cards, right? These no-power cards. So they kind of just lose. I'm tapping. They should retreat. They're tapping too. They're getting a little reckless in my opinion. Now we have a couple options here. We can use the 5-6 here that shuffles the cards into the hand, or we have a 5-5 that shuffles 3 Dark Magic cards into their hand. So we give up 1 power for an additional Dark Magic card. I think I'm going to do that, honestly. I'm going to go Belial mid. I'm going to put 3 Dark Magic cards into the deck, and I hope that they draw into it, because that'll make them feel particularly bad. There's 3. We get the +1 there. We do win right, so I don't even have to play it there, really. It doesn't look like they drew into that, and I could Belial again, and I think I will. I think I want to set up, I want to be winning here, I think. So they go left. They go left. Frosty Breath. The effect, I don't think procced. It looked like it kicked that back. I want to see some of these Dark Magic cards get drawn, damn it. Where are these dark magic cards? Yes, I'm tapping. Oh, they're getting green. There's a dark magic card. Debuff, debuff. Let's go. It looks like we debuffed the right side twice, so we didn't really need that. We would have liked the other side to get hit here. Frosty Breath returns cards, places. Okay, so we dodged that. This is just a 5/6 vanilla. Okay, okay. We have the Uriel, which doubles the power play. I think we just do that. I mean, we won here. We're winning there. They have to play a card here. This goes 12 power. We win no matter what, right? They challenge us left. And, yeah, we just win. That's some inebriated gameplay, honestly. That would have made more sense mid, but we take those victories. And guys, thank you so much for joining us on this video here. I do hope that you enjoy Tempest, Tower of Probatio. It's an interesting game, and at the end of the day, like, I think that it has some potential. It's worth knowing that if you get started today, you get the opportunity to try the trial deck ticket here. So I think that getting the trial deck ticket would be very valuable to you. So use the link in the description and in the comment section down below. And we'll see you in that next video on the channel.